Hello everyone and welcome back to another high-level match of StarCraft 2. What I've got for you today is a best of 5 series of Terran versus Protoss. We're in game number 1. We find ourselves in Gresfin. I totally knew that. Spotting right here in the bottom right corner, playing with the red Terran SCVs from Mexico. But honestly, spending the majority of the year over in South Korea, or looking inside of the main base of Special. His opponent in the opposite corner with the blue Protoss pieces, he's from the United States. He's been looking incredibly good over, honestly, the last couple of years, but he's been looking specifically very strong over the last couple of months. We have none other than Astrea. 2023 so far, I've been very impressed. Astrea has been showing us some very good games. Special, of course, in general, right? The man's really good at the game. I don't think that really comes as any surprise to anybody. But I feel like over the last half year or so, he's really been mixing it up. He's really been going for a lot more battle cruisers, a lot of weird strategies, and a lot of cheese in general. So we'll have to see what he's been up to. I haven't really seen any of his games over like the last month and a half. So maybe he's gone back to the quote-unquote normal, but we'll see, right? Terran versus Protoss right now is in a bit of a spicy spot where most of the Protoss players feel like they can only ever win when they play very aggressively. And already we're starting off with 2 gateways right over here inside of the main base for Astrea. This is something that is not quite the norm. Normally you go for, well, the Cybercore together with a Nexus. And I do think there will be a Nexus here eventually, but of course this is a big indicator that he wants to go for a lot of units here right from the start. So because of that, there's a good chance though that Special will be playing defensively. And if he had something spicy in mind, well, luckily for him, he's decided to go for the command center in the main base. It'll probably have to wait until a later game in this particular series. No scouting here whatsoever for the Terran other than a Reaper that will be coming across the map shortly. Double gateway already waiting. We're gonna chrono boost out a couple of adepts. Yes. Okay, I was gonna say that pylon right over here at the bottom did need to finish up, but it did finish about a second late. Either way, he is gonna be able to get 2 adepts going here nice and early. I'm assuming if you're gonna go for 2 gateways, you're gonna keep producing out of them. Remember, doing some chrono boosting as well. Trying to make sure that these are at least somewhat in sync. So indeed, a second adept is coming out of the first gateway. And I'm assuming there will be a 4th adept here, or adept rather here in total as well. Very, very soon. All right, so at the very least, this Reaper just now scouted what is going on. Special apparently requires another supply depot, but as the adjutant was sharing that information, okay, yeah, we're just gonna go full aggression here. He already finished up a supply depot. We've got ourselves a factory with a tech lab inside of the main base. Special is just going to be playing this very defensively. So this is of course a change, right? Something we've only really been seeing over the last couple of weeks. Protoss players are just playing much more aggressively now, and Terrans are like, you know what? If I feel comfortable in the mid game and you don't, I will just try and force the game to go a little bit longer, and I'll build my command center in the main base. If you want to be aggressive, good luck. Good luck trying to get some damage done. It's much easier to push into this flat area, right? Where you don't have to push up a ramp. It is going to be much easier for the Protoss to break that position. But still, it's certainly manageable. Cyclone coming up though, and Cyclone here is amazing. We did have that proxy pylon on the other side of the map. Twilight Council now on the back of this too. I'm assuming this is going to be Blink. Yep. Blink is an amazing upgrade right now. And, well, it looks like 2 adepts actually. I wasn't quite spotting that, but I figured they weren't going to be around for much longer there. They did just now get sniped for essentially free. Okay. So far the aggression's not really working out all too well here for Astrea, but a lot of that has to do with the strategy that Special decided to go for by building that command center in the main base. That was only tier 1 though, of the aggression. Terran in the meantime, also ready to go on the offensive here very soon. I mean, he's going for another tech lab over here. What are we gonna build? There is at the very least a Banshee coming up with the cloak. He could definitely go for another Cyclone here if he wants to. Now, it's gonna be a siege tank. I was thinking maybe he could go full aggression, but siege tank is a much safer choice. The thing is, he doesn't really know what's going on inside of the main base here of the Protoss player, so he hasn't seen the addition of the Twilight Council. I think building an extra Cyclone here into somebody he's already gonna go into that Blink upgrade. I mean, I guess right now Protoss players are playing Blink 9 times out of 10 games, it seems. Yeah, it would be very risky. Would have been good though, if this was a Stargate opener of some sort. But none of that here is the case. So good choice here once again for Special. We are gonna go double Banshee. Engineering bay coming up right now as well. Okay. Yeah, so it seems to me that most Terran players are playing this matchup a little bit more passively now. We've seen guys like, for example, Cure just sit there. They just sort of sit there. It's not the most exciting game of StarCraft to watch. But yeah, there's a little bit more passivity over the last couple of months in the Terran versus Protoss matchup from the Terran's point of view. Maybe a little bit of harassment, maybe some Widowmine drops, Hellion drops, that sort of thing. But in general, you know, Terran's happy to build up an army. Okay, this is actually going to force the recall right here on that Observer. That one was going across the map. Luckily, he did have energy, though, because that could have been an absolute disaster. Second Banshee, a little bit late. Wouldn't have minded seeing that one a bit closer to the other side of the map here. Either way, we are going to be going into a couple of Stalkers here, but apparently, oh, look at that guy, driving backwards. This Cyclone is the coolest kid in class. Free Prism. This series is not looking all too hot so far here for Astrea. Everything he's done so far, it's been shut down. Can he at the very least snipe that Banshee? I think he will. He does still have Blink available, and there you go. So he should be okay, but the real question is, how comfortable is he going to be against this main army? Yeah, Special thinking about pushing. This is what I was saying earlier, right? He now spotted the blink of his opponent. He looked at that army and he realizes, you know what? I don't really need to go for aggression. I've just invested into, well, the Stimpack research. I've just gone for the +1 infantry weapons as well. I could go for a push right now if I want to. Maybe try and get my units in a good position, but I really don't need to. I may as well just continuously build up here. Alright, now Blink is done, of course. Blink is a perfect moment for Protoss to get a little adventurous, because that's going to be the fastest moving unit on the battlefield right now. Special sieged up on top of that high ground, trying to force his opponent to go around. He does scan right now. Is there a Robo Bay? Is there something along those lines already down? And not the case, as it's a Templar Archives in the main. So that's kind of interesting. We're going to be going into the High Templar here. Observer in the main base right now as well of the Terran player is going to provide high ground vision for those Stalkers to blink in. So they should go right now. There you go. And he wants to go after the Stimpack. Now, sadly for him, the Stimpack upgrade is, yeah, the other one with the green light on it. Anyway, still denying a combat shield though. Oh, Raven may be going down as well. Okay, Raven does go down, but this does now come at the cost of quite a few Stalkers. 3 of them in total. And the Observer apparently goes down. Don't think the Observer really needed to go, but fair enough. Astrea sort of trying to soft contain his opponent here on 2 bases, and well, at this point there's no third command center available yet. Special just trying to pump out as much of an army as possible. So if you look right now at the army supply count, 69, that's pretty nice. My question is, will he be able to land the storms that he needs? Because at this point, yeah, the Protoss economy is pretty great. Yeah, he's going to be able to make a massive army if the game goes on for another couple minutes. But will he actually be able to? He needs to hold this particular attack right here from Special. And he's gonna need a couple of banger storms. That dog over there. Yeah. Very confused in the middle of that Terran army. Okay, so we've got 3 Templar and a Dream. There's a Prism available as well. Prism apparently rallied over here for now. You will see the Terran army. There's no reason why a Cyclone is driving around here by itself. Storm is done. Okay. Keep in mind that obviously he can split against this too. First Storm, decent, not amazing. Second Storm, okay. Softening up a lot of these units some more, and I love that third Storm. Well, you know, love maybe a bit of a strong word, but he was trying to zone away those Marines from the siege tank. In the end though, reinforcing units do show up. Good split right there from Astrea as well. Blinking back the weakened Stalkers, trying to survive this push to the best of his abilities. There's one more Storm available. Medevacs still have quite a bit of energy. We don't have a battery here, which surprises me a bit. Not entirely sure why we don't have a battery. Maybe he was feeling that concerned that he decided, you know what, I can't afford it. But I think cutting a couple workers going for a shield battery definitely would have been worthwhile. Maybe he did. No, it didn't get sniped, did it? No, don't think so. Anyways, he decides to continue blinking forward here. Reinforcing Terran units are showing up. Keep in mind, Special doesn't have a third command center. So this push is essentially do or die. As long as Protoss holds on, this is expensive. Obviously, Terran command centers can fly. But as long as he holds on, he is gonna be okay. Now there's that batter. Oh, that the Widowmine trying its best. Except the Prism is gonna sacrifice itself. That tank in the back though, very annoying, right? Very difficult to break. Okay. Apparently this fight is taking such a long time that Astrea figured, you know what, I can probably get more energy again for another storm. Okay, Zealots are going to be able to clean up the tank. Immortal going to town on the Marauders as well, and eventually Astrea does seem to somewhat stabilize. Now I say somewhat, mostly because there's more Terran units going across the map. Specials broke. Very stellar defense right there from Astrea. Who's going to go for a 4th Nexus? I don't think that's what he needs. What he really needs is a shield battery or two, man. I don't know why we're not making shield batteries. I understand the Terrans can obviously snipe them. Yeah, one battery was killed, but I'm not exactly sure what that one was at. I'm very surprised though. We don't have any follow-up batteries right now. That seems to be the most obvious choice here for our Protoss player. Anyways, a couple Zealots here on the other side of the map. I will scout the timing, or, well, Lecter off the 3rd command center. Widowmine drop? Yeah, going into the main base. He doesn't really care so much for the workers in the main base anymore, though. Obviously, you do want to keep them around for as long as possible. We don't have an observer over here either. So you know what? Yeah, this is working out quite well. 5 probes, 2 Zealots. Not awful. Jimmy over here finishes up the gateway. We still have a bit of harassment here on the other side of the map as well. And this is mostly just buying a lot of time. Special, though, still with a massive supply lead, right? This is gonna get a little bit awkward, though. Because at this point, Protoss does not have nearly as dominating of a force. But their economy is quite a bit better. Okay, Special right now has sniffed out the 4th Nexus. He decides to stim forward. And I think he is going to be able to get the kill on this. And that's big. That's really big. He's been distracting the Protoss player there for quite a while already. And with all of those Protoss units trying to clear out wherever Terran drops are, he loses the 4th Nexus. And that is rather painful. Okay, 4 Templar, 1 Immortal. We're going to once more try to secure that 4th base. Orbital Command is finishing up. This is a super late 3rd. But now he can transfer about half of the workers from the main, maybe even a couple from the natural as well. Yeah, more than a couple. Towards that base as well. Big drop inside of the main base. Couple Marines and a Marauder over here at the front trying to snipe the 4th. That's not going to happen, but the ground armor level 2 does get the Knight with that Forge going down. Okay. A couple Marines and Marauders did not make the cut. Liberators now also coming across the map. So Special strategy here is to try and smother the opponent. Just try to hit him at so many angles at once. At some point, one of these pushes is going to be lethal. Just punch the opponent everywhere. Okay, we did have a big stim being used there as well. How many medevacs remain? I was going to say, we have quite a few of them. This is gonna be a clash between these armies eventually, and I've got the feeling that Special's army is just too strong. Yeah. And this game number 1 immediately puts the finger on the sore spot, right? This is where Protoss players are complaining a lot right now. They're like, I'm playing 4 base, they've just got 2. That's I think, you know, how people on the forums talk. That's my inner voice anyways for them. I've got 4 base economy, they've got only 2, and I still loot Marine. This isn't even to do with the Ghost yet, though. Most people are complaining about the strength of the Ghost and how it's oh, big storm. Okay, another big storm, including on that little observer. Yeah, there's just not enough follow-up here. Although the space wizards over here are doing a lot of work, though. Okay, do we have another storm? I think we do. Hello, 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 he's busy. He's busy in the main base. That storm was a little late. Okay, big storm over here as well, but already, okay, 10 probes did go down. Same can be said though for that medevac. Now the 4th command center is building on location. Ghosts are also added into the mix. Yeah, so now, well, we can warp in 6 High Templar at a time. That's amazing. He's splitting them up as well to make sure that they don't all get stormed, but... Ghosts are good against High Templar. And they're, well, in particular also very good against Zealots. Yeah, against clumped up units. So... basically, they're good against this entire Protoss army. It's not like Stalkers are particularly great against, against Ghosts either. Colossi are coming up though, and Astrea is being incredibly resilient. I think the majority of Protoss players would have already left this game at this point, just because he's been under so much pressure for such a long time. He's, by the way, decided not to remake that 4th base. And he's also not gone for any additional probes. So I've got a feeling that Astrea is... Well, he's now adding on a couple probes again. Maybe he's a little bit confused as well. Yeah, he saw the timing of his opponent's 4th. Probably hoped that that wasn't there yet. I was thinking he was just gonna go for one final push. One really big attack that can hopefully obtain the victory. Oh. Oh! Oh! Hero Zealot does get the job done. The real battle, though, is taking place over here at the front. The Ghost moving forward. Good EMP right there. Getting rid of, well, I guess at least the High Templar energy. 4th Nexus once again that gets denied. And I think this right here is going to be a little bit too much. I mean, this... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Hold up. No way. There's no way. Okay, nah. There's no way. Those storms were lethal, though. The splash damage here from Protoss is insane. So maybe Special is winning game 1 here, but Astrea certainly is setting the tone as well, right? It's like, wait, buddy. You got a little lucky in this game. I misread the situation that we were in. I'm actually surprised this game is still going on, though. Yeah, that's painful. That's what a lot of those Widow Mines have been aiming for a really long time. Okay, we're gonna use the Colossus here. We saw a similar method from Clem the other day in that series against Cerro. I saw a lot of comments of people getting very excited about the Hellion shooting at the Marine and using the splash damage to kill the Creep Tumor. That's basically what that Colossus did just now to the Stalker as well. Except that the Stalker obviously, only loses a little bit of shield that it will regenerate. Anyways, cute little move. When you don't have any detection, that's a way to get rid of a Widow Mine right there. Bark the Stalker on top of it. Be the living bait, I suppose, and, well, then use your Colossi. Let's see, though. I feel like Special's been 50 supply ahead for like 10 minutes now. Am I wrong? Maybe 10 minutes is a bit much, but... Alright. 30 of that supply is gonna go into the opponent's main base. And the rest of the Terran army is moving over here at the 4th. Protoss desperately trying to get as many upgrades as possible. Yeah, he's sparing whatever army he can to move on over towards the main base, but it's looking very uninspiring. I wouldn't mind seeing a Disruptor if we can still get it. Disruptors aren't super expensive. And obviously, they do have that comeback potential. Ghost Drop. Was that a Ghost Drop right there to try and get... Okay, now we're just styling here. Widow Mine in the main base. Dropship over here is gonna get rid of that Observer. Very annoying. So now there's another blind spot in the defense of Astrea. He can't really see much. Okay, maybe if he can blink underneath, though. Getting 2 Medevacs would be amazing. Instead, he loses a Stalker. Okay, here's the Terran Bio Army moving forward here again as well. Special right now maxed out, though. And eventually, he had to fight for it. But eventually, he does obtain the victory in game number 1. Next up. Ancient Cistern. Astrea starting this game by sending a probe straight across the map. Okay. Doesn't necessarily have to be anything malicious. Can just use it for early game scouting to figure out exactly what Special is up to. Because honestly, the vibe I'm getting from that previous game is that Astrea is probably a little bit better overall. He just, you know, seems a bit more confident. Since he was playing that game from behind for like 80% of the time. He did end up losing it eventually, but I don't think that really hurt his confidence all too much. So even though this is gonna cost a little bit of early game economy, yeah, I actually don't mind this at all. You can figure out exactly what the Terran player is up to, and that's very helpful. Could have also been a max specs opener, I suppose, where you go pylon, gateway, but a little bit strange to do that against somebody who's already shown a command center in the main base first in game number 1. It'd be a disaster if you decide to run that build into it. So I think Astrea will probably just play a normal game here instead. And Special... Okay. He could just be using this, again, as a scouting worker as well. But the angle right here, yeah, I don't think it is. I think Special is the one who decides to now go for a bit of a spicy strategy. Okay, I thought Astrea maybe go for... Anyways. Some reverse Uno going on here. Okay. Now, there's no second gas, there's no command center. This is something that probe is looking for. That can only mean it's a proxy factory on the other side of the map. The proxy factory here, look at that SCV. It's chasing him so far. I find that very suspicious. So the Marine does come out here eventually. He does see the reactor. Okay. Yeah, he sees the reactor. He saw the lack of second gas in the main base. I think if you're Astrea right now, you get very suspicious. Because that was all a little bit weird. Yeah, scouting worker. Okay, yep, scouting worker going across. He is on point. That probe, pretending to go home, baiting the SCV that far out. Special really did not want that worker coming back in, and he now scouts it. So I think normally you'd go for a proxy starport on the back of this here too. So proxy... Oh, we're just giving up on it entirely? Yeah, okay, no, starport in the main base. He's not producing anything. You can see Astrea clicking on it right there. So the animation changes whenever something is building inside of the factory, and that is what Astrea sees. Obviously, Astrea doesn't see the little square right over there in the middle. That would be insane. Yeah. So for the most part, it seems to me that this push has been given up on. That said, it could also just be a little bit delayed. So he needs about 3 Hellions here to... He's just gonna keep scouting it. Yeah, rather than checking with a worker, I guess this is fine. Yeah, he needed another pylon anyways. He'll try to figure out exactly what is coming out of that that starport, or that what's it called, a factory here. In order to, well, do so, he just built a pylon right next to it. Clever enough. Probe going back in. What do we have over here? Still no command center, although we do see it over there. Once again, perfect scout right there from Astrea, moving that probe across the map in a really lovely way as well. Not letting his opponent catch him off guard. He's counting the amount of Hellions. So the amount of Hellions where it gets scary is 3. 2 Hellions is fine. 3 is enough to start one-shotting probes. So that's what he's primarily concerned for. So that's what he's counting here. Obviously, we've had some units started and then cancelled and started and cancelled. So it does get a bit tricky. He's going to check the front over here. Taking any damage here would suck. Yeah, the Hellions just... Okay, I think the plan is to drop Marines in the main base and then to drive by in the natural. Yeah, with the Hellions. Okay. So, we have a shield battery in the main base. Trying to distract this. There go the Hellions on the right side. Immortal is available. Okay, so this may... Oh, good force field. Really lovely force field, actually. Obviously, you can still get 2 lines of attack here. Yeah, that shield battery is pretty helpful, eh? Okay. So, 4 probes in total. 3 Hellions going down, as well as a Marine. Plus, on top of that, this command center was much later than what you're aiming for. Still, this is by no means a game-winning position right here for Astrea. He's mostly just survived the early game, and in a way, he's been forced into a macro game too, right? I was talking earlier about how a lot of Protoss players like to play aggressively in this matchup right now. Well, he can still certainly do so. But he won't have Blink. He actually is going to do so. He's going up to 6 gateways here. He won't have Blink. He won't really have much. This is just a single Immortal with a bunch of sentries. I actually don't hate it, though. Yeah, this really does look like a game where Protoss is going to take a 3rd Nexus. There's no cloaking field available right here. So luckily for Astrea, that is not something to be concerned by. Is there enough available? What exactly do we have? Well, it's just a bunch of... Obviously, that factory has been flying back home. He doesn't have siege tanks or anything like that. Oh, he's just gonna... Okay. Quote-unquote, blink. Into the main base. Force field. One of the oldest tricks in the book, man. Yeah, this is what we used to see in Wings of Liberty. This was actually game-breaking at the time. Nobody knew how to deal with it. We even calculated the amount of sentries you need to perpetually block off a base. I think it was 6. If you force field perfectly, that's the number that pops in my head anyways. I might be wrong. Anyways, that was primarily against Zerg. Terran obviously has access to the medevac, so you can drop into the main base a little bit easier. This is so much damage being done, though, here by the American Protoss player. None of these units are upgraded. No charge, no blink, no forge, nothing. Astrea just trying to win by, well, keeping the majority of those Terran units out. GG is cold. Astrea wins game number 2. Dragon skills, map number 3. Today, by the way, as of me recording this video, is a national holiday in the Netherlands, but it turns out my boss is an absolute jerk. Still making me record these videos. I'm also gonna do a live stream later. Ay. Feels like over the last couple of months, we had a whole lot of national holidays. I've personally, other than like Christmas and the 1st of January, I've basically always just streamed because I enjoy streaming a lot. And that's one of the risks, right, of really enjoying what you do for a living. It's also one of those things where I'm like, okay, I can do it literally every single day. I used to make content 7 days a week. You know the main reason why I stopped doing that? It was my voice. It wasn't even so much that I thought it was too much. It was just that my voice couldn't handle it. Looking back at that, though, I don't think that was particularly great for me. These days, I make content probably about 5.5, sometimes 6 days a week. It kind of depends. Usually Wednesdays and... Well, I say I take, quote-unquote, Wednesdays off, but I'm still making videos on Wednesdays. I'm still, you know... Usually Wednesday has kind of turned into the catch-up-on-things day. I don't know how many of you watching this are, you know, working for yourselves as well, but... It turns out email and messages and all that and administrate and all the boring stuff that tends to go on Wednesday, and then I still make a video and I usually go to the gym, and then usually by the time I'm done it's like 5 p.m. and I call that a quote-unquote day off. It's, yeah, maybe I'm not very good at it. Sundays though, yeah, no, I've been taking those off for a very long time. But sometimes I still post a video on Sunday, so I still look at the YouTube dashboard and stuff. I'm like, oh, did the video do well? Do I have to make a new thumbnail? Because sometimes YouTube just doesn't recommend the... Oh. Okay, yeah, I'll shut up. Hold up. Astrea just blocked his opponent's add-on. Is this a pylon rush? He's gotta cancel that, no? He doesn't cancel it. Okay. Astrea, look, buddy, pal, you do notice sometimes Terran structures, right? They can fly. They're not like gateways. Gateways flying would be insane. Well, special so far, not flying though. He did decide to panic here and go for a second Reaper. He probably also assumed that that was gonna be a cancel. Third Reaper now coming up. Suddenly we're playing Terran versus Terran with Hellions and Reapers. I love how this can cause so much confusion. Where whatever special had planned for this particular game, it's been completely thrown out of the window. He's like, nope, not doing that anymore. We're gonna go for something a little bit different. He doesn't see the Twilight Council, by the way. I guess it's a safe enough assumption to make, but yeah, it could still be a Stargate. And I mean, last time I checked, there's Hellions, there's Reapers. Neither of those two units, they shoot up. So, okay, Tech Lab coming up right now. We'll probably see a Cyclone. Reactor coming up. We'll probably see 2 Marines here at once. Perfect timing once again on this probe, by the way. Astrea moves into the opponent's natural expansion, and he sees nothing. And honestly, seeing nothing is already enough. Oh, he just walks into the main base, too. All right. Hey, guys. What's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, Cyclone coming up. Here's the Reapers, though. Together with that Hellion group, trying their very best. Good save, right? Hellion group. I thought there was only one Hellion there for a second, but that doesn't really make any sense. He does get a good amount of probe kills here. 7 probes going down, but the Nexus was obviously much quicker. And he ended up losing the Hellions and the Reapers as well. So, yeah, I'm always a little conflicted. I think those sort of attacks, they feel really good for Terran because they're like, haha, I have really hurt my opponent's economy. And you kind of have, but... You've also slowed down your own economy a lot. I said slowed down, by the way. Can I have some credit for that one? For years, I've been saying slown down, which somebody notified me that is not the correct verb. Or not the, what do you call that? The correct variation of the, whatever. The correct tense? No. It's slowed down, not slown down. Sorry for those of you that... I've had messages of people saying, Lowko, I'm learning English by watching your videos because Dutch people enunciate too clearly. Sorry for those of you that also got it wrong. Yeah, apparently that's not correct. Although there might be an English teacher now listening to this and they're like, actually, if it isn't actually, please let me know down below in the comment section. Appreciate you. Dead Adept, super dead, but at the very least, Adept, the Adept, is, at the very least, it scouted out roughly what was going on in this game. The follow-up right here from Astrea is, of course, his beloved Blink. All Protoss players love this upgrade. If Protoss players had to marry one upgrade, I think they would marry Blink. Or maybe an extended thermal lens, but that depends, you know, on, on the person. Whatever they prefer. Anyways, Banshee, gotta go into the opponent's main base. Currently, there is absolutely no detection. No cloaking either, by the way, on this Banshee. Not the type of game where we get that sort of thing. We did go for a Raven on the back of this instead. Okay. Couple probes going down. 4. Can we get a 5th? I think we... Okay, yeah, we probably could have had 6. But... Wait, did that... Hold up. Did that Banshee just kill 6 or am I dumb? It did kill 6. Okay, never mind. I was already looking at the minimap again. I was like, it could probably have killed 6. And then I noticed on the left side of the map, 6 kills. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no, it probably could have, huh? It probably could have because it did. Alright, siege tank in the main base. Gonna get killed easy peasy. Raven pretty far forward as well. Good micro right there by Astrea. Yeah, Protoss players, I mean, they're forced into these Stalker builds. And they've gotten absurdly good at it. Are you looking at these pickups? Astrea's pickup game is amazing. If this whole, like, StarCraft thing doesn't work out, he can start one of those YouTube channels where he teaches people... Okay, now... I'm saying his deadlift is really strong. That's what I'm saying. Supply depot dropped out of the high heavens. Careful, though. That probe... Okay, or sorry. That unit is very dangerous. The vision here. Okay, sorry about that, Jimmy. The vision here is critical. Is he gonna blink forward? He is gonna blink forward. He gets the siege tank. Raven goes down. Cyclone is probably gonna be the next target. We can pick up a couple of those low HP stalkers here as well. Trying to make the best of this rough situation right now. You know what? I think he's doing it. Zealot's being warped in here just to soak up as much damage as possible. Astrea pulls off some amazing micro. And it alone allows him to win the game. Neo-Humanity. Where are you going, little probe? It's a nursery rhyme. It's what Protoss players tell their kids. Where are you going, little probe? Where are you going with your head full of minerals? Shouldn't you be at home together with the probes? Something like that. I'm not great at nursery rhymes. I also play Zork myself, so I'm not really too familiar. Okay, so what's the plan here, Astrea? We're just gonna... Okay, no, it's just once again scouting. Pylon in the main base. Gateway right next to it. Gas over here as well. He's just making sure he's not being cheesed. Okay. So, SCV building that barracks once again. We're starting to be a little bit annoying. Probe is gonna use its little taser. And once again, yeah, now he's stuck in here with you, dude. I'm sorry about that. This is your life now, little probe. You did. This is what you get for leaving the base. Also, the story of the nursery rhyme. Yeah, spoiler alert. The probe dies. He does scout, however, the very quick double gas in the main base of the opponent. That's huge. That was super fast. He's also fully saturating it, so you can definitely bet here that Astrea is counting the amount of SCVs and gas. He's probably thinking, yo, could this be a fake? Is he just gonna kill my probe and then pull them out of gas again? Like, what is going on here? 2 minutes is usually when, right about that time, that the Reaper spawns. Twice in a row, huh? Okay. No, this is just... Well, he does pull them out of gas here eventually, but it was just to start up that factory a little bit quicker. Is he gonna go for another Reaper? He will. Probe is gonna get recalled. Reverse Uno right there, special. You played yourself a little bit. Maybe that's the end of the nursery rhyme, huh? Maybe somebody in the comments section can write us a beautiful Protoss nursery rhyme. You can probably ask Bing or ChatGPT or whatever. I'm gonna ask Bing, hold up. I'm sorry, I couldn't find any nursery rhymes for Protoss in StarCraft. However, based on web results, I can tell you that Protoss are sentient humanoid species native to I'm very disappointed, okay? There's about 12 people in the world that use Bing. I'm one of them, apparently. Maybe ChatGPT would do a better job. Anyways, or even stranger. Maybe a human could write it. I know. Ah, I found it. It's a tweet by Carl Sharrow. He says, humans doing the hard job on minimum wage while the robots write poetry and paint is not the future I wanted. Honestly, one of the funniest tweets I've ever read. Generally speaking, I don't think Twitter is the best platform in the universe, right? Don't know how many of you use Twitter. You should follow me, by the way, if you do, at LowkoTV. All of my tweets are absolutely amazing. If you were to make a Twitter tier list, my tweets, dude, all at the top tier. No, but yeah, if you curate Twitter, it's quite well. How did I get there? How did I go? Oh yeah, Protoss nursery rhyme. AI, Twitter, of course. Very logical step to make while you're casting a game of StarCraft 2. In the end, though, this opener doesn't really benefit anybody in particular. It just makes the game weird. Now, Neo-Humanity is a map that is a little bit funny. As far as, like, funny StarCraft maps go, I actually really do like Neo-Humanity. I think it's efficiently strange. Maybe that's the best way to put it. I think it's really fun. Mostly because of the... Well, the slow zone in the middle is fun. We had that big collapsible tower as well in that, what was it, Cure versus Dark or something, where the Terran army got blown up over there. We've got these very interesting bases here in the center. Overall, excellent map. 2 probes ended up going down right there to that very first Widow mine. Yeah, there's no blink or anything along the lines here for the Protoss. So he's gonna have to run around. Okay. Couple more probes going down. This is annoying, but for the most part, okay, Hallucinated Phoenix here scouting out exactly what the Terran's up to. For the most part, this is not a huge... Okay, hello, no, this isn't Diamond League special. This is, that mistake is something I see in viewer-submitted replays all the time. He accidentally all army hotkeyed everything to try and kill an Hallucinated Phoenix and then lost... Anyways, Astrea says, don't mind if I do. He's now forced to play a bit more of a passive game though, partially also due to the fact that he made that pylon inside of his opponent's main base that has since been destroyed. He's gonna go into a quick Robo Bay together with a Forge. Terran going for an attack right now. I actually think Neo-Humanity might be, together with Gressven, the best or at least the most interesting map right now. Yeah. Altitude, of course, by far the worst. Okay, moving forward here. Killing the Raven would be nice, but the entire Protoss army is chasing it. Doesn't even kill it. Instead, right now, yeah, he arrives over here on the other side of the map. Beautiful move here by Special, by the way. Setting up a couple of bunkers here, too, to try and secure that kill. Still gonna be difficult to pull off, though. Does he have enough? Hallucinated Archons. Hallucinated Archons here to try and take up those siege tank hits. Immortal coming in from the back. He is going to be able to kill the Nexus, I believe, though. But at the cost of that entire Terran army. Oh, gets the sentries, too. Hello. Why are the sentries over there at the front? It's partially due to the fact that the Raven was in the main base. Yeah, we had that Liberator over here trying to be annoying, too. So he just created a lot of chaos. Okay, yeah, I think that actually turned out to be good for Protoss overall. But we can only really judge it in like a minute or two from now. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Astrea going across the map. Yeah, the problem here is though, ooh, okay. Astrea is agreeing that this is a bit of a weird spot. Decides to go for +1 flyer into a Stargate right now. Okay, you know what? I actually don't hate it, because Special has killed his opponent's third base. We've already seen him sitting there making a whole bunch of stuff, right? Trying to just mech her up. You're kind of hoping, yeah, that there is going to be a third command center here eventually, and there is one. If this would have been an 8 Rex all-in or something like that, Special would walk over his opponent. But Astrea is saying, yo, I'll flip a coin. I cross my fingers and hope it doesn't land on 8 barracks, right? We hope right here that it's not going to be a 2-base all-in from Special once again. Special is still certainly going to go for an attack. But there's a good chance, much like most of the Protoss players are facing off against right now, there's a good chance that Terran's going to sit back for a while. Maybe a medevac drop or something like that. But there's a good chance he's just mostly going to sit back. Fleet Beacon coming up. Second Stargate coming up as well. Okay, so by the time he gets any sort of I'm assuming carriers? Could be Tempest, I guess, but carriers make a bit more sense. By the time that any of them are out, +1 Flyers is gonna finish up too. So Astrea is saying, yo, I am willing to lose this game over the next 5 minutes or so, but I also kind of feel like you're not gonna attack me within the next 5 minutes. You know what? He may be wrong. Does he have enough to hold this particular attack? There is that Raven up in the air. There's one Colossus. That Colossus is essentially half of the Protoss army here. The Raven obviously has energy here to disable it. It is going to be Tempest. Okay. So Tempest maybe first to just try and make sure we don't die, and then into carriers on the back of this? Something like that, but this is going to be very dangerous. Okay, siege tank sieging up. That's 4 of them. If we can disable a couple of those heavy hitters here from Protoss, life's going to be very hard for Protoss. But then again, this is a slow attack. There's the missile turret coming up. Yeah. We will have Tempest out, and Tempest outrange everything here. Technically speaking, Tempest can kill everything. Realistically, they won't. But it might honestly be enough to trigger the Terran to go back home. Okay, Stimpack being used right there. That's rather pricey. Here's the Tempest showing up. Special's gonna be like, what? How in the world do you get these bad boys out? This is a very strange timing. Is he gonna commit? I do think he's gonna commit. He wants to land the... Oh, okay. Well, he wanted to land the interference matrices. But he ended up losing that Raven there. 10 probes are gonna go down. This base will likely fall as well. Okay, one of the Tempests just got killed by Marines, which is certainly not the unit that's like a zebra killing a lion, man. This is not what we're supposed to be seeing here. Or Zing? Okay, I tried. We're once more gonna rebuild that 3rd Nexus. 3rd time's the charm. +2 is coming up here. In the meantime, 4th command center on the right side of the map. Special now sees this coming in from a mile away, decides to start up a 2nd starport. He'll be switching that one over towards the reactor soon as well. He's gonna start pumping out as many of those Vikings as he possibly can. Skytles versus Terran. Yeah, it's not something we very commonly see. This Nexus is gonna go down, so Astrea trying to double expand, but it's not going to happen. Yeah, things are starting to get really desperate right now for our American Protoss. Getting the Cyber Core would actually be amazing right now. Yeah, normally this is not the problem, but... Okay, +2 air weapons gets denied. Disruptor goes down. 2 of them go down. This is going from bad to worse right now here for Astrea. Carrier though? Okay. I mean, Skytles is still scary. We don't see a lot of Skytles. It's just that Marines and Vikings are really good units. He ended up losing one of them, right? Which does kind of suck. Okay, at least this base is finished up, but in the meantime, we have a Terran with a 4th command center already done. Special now with a 50 supply lead, feeling nice and comfortable. The one thing he hasn't started yet, though, is 2-2 upgrades, which I'm very surprised by. There's 0 reason for him not to go into additional upgrades. Cybercore once again coming up. Yeah, we only have a single NG bay. We really need an armory. Yeah, armory starts up right now together with the NG bay, but that is so late. I feel like this could have started up literally minutes ago. Instead, what he's trying to do is just kill the Stargates itself. Fair enough, that's not really going to happen though. In the meantime, we do have the Vikings over here going to town as well. Disruptor trying to connect. Does get a good detonation off. Very ambitious battery overcharge in that location. Here's Terran once again though, pushing in. He wants to make sure he denies that base. Does he have enough? This Protoss army does look mighty dangerous. Vikings here trying to put as much damage out as possible. But I think that the Nexus may very well once again end up falling. That being said though, here we go. We once more have some hallucinated Archons. There's a whole lot of Disruptors suddenly appearing out of nowhere. And you know what? Terran does get pushed back. Terran does get pushed back right here. Okay. I did not expect that. Yeah, those Disruptors coming in clutch. I'm actually with Special on this one, man. I thought there were like 3 of them, but... I mean, right now there's 2 available. I feel like... How many have gone down? Yeah, 3 of them in total. There were more Purification Novas there than expected. Astrea still kept that base alive. He's now gonna go for another expo. Still pumping out carriers 3 at a time. Carriers and disruptors, man. This is every Zerg player that's watching this. This is their worst nightmare. Unless Sero happens to be watching this, but I don't think so. I doubt it. This is scary. +2 has once again started up. There's Terran finally going into 2-2, but I feel like they should have already been started up with the 3-3 researches here quite a while ago. But of course you can't do that until 2-2 is done. Those Marines are not as powerful as they could be. Okay. We do have the flyer attacks coming up as well here. The air weapons, I mean. The Zerg upgrades are called flyer attacks. Look at the Terran carapace research. We're gonna go into the +1 air weapons for Terran. It's not like Special has a gajillion resources in the bank here either, right? Yeah, now he's finished up all of his barracks, so he's got 8 of them in total. That's nice. I'm assuming you still want Ghost against this type of army, just to soften up those units. But so far, he has not actually made any Ghost Academies. Okay. Astrea is playing a passive game now. I think what Astrea is trying to do is just make one big death ball, and then shove. Just try and push everything across the map. He's got 1 shot. Will he capture it? Or will he let it slip? We've got the Liberator trying to be annoying. Mom Spaghetti over here. Poor Stalkers, man. A couple of them will die, but that's a sacrifice Astrea is willing to make. Also because he's busy trying to deal with a drop inside of his main base. That's these medevacs going down for sure. Unless this guy is kept alive just to... Okay. Share the message. The Protoss army is, of course, slow and immobile, right? So this can be kind of annoying, but recall is very good. I wouldn't even mind seeing a Mama ship here, although that's, you know, 400 minerals, 400 gas. Pricey unit overall. We have 3 starports, by the way. Producing as many Vikings here as we possibly can. No, we have 4 starports. Producing as many Vikings as possible. I was trying to count the starports on my screen. I only got to 2. Anyhow. Astrea. Finding himself in a situation that I don't think he expected himself to be in. So he's mostly skipping the ground upgrades because he doesn't really need them. Again, a big Protoss army, or sorry, a big Terran army here is going to be sacrificed to kill that Nexus. Fair enough. There's already a cloud, a swarm of Vikings trying to figure out what their next move is going to be. They really want to hunt down the carriers, but the carriers are well protected inside of the base. 16 probes have gone down here. We are now getting to the point, though, where Astrea's army is looking terrifying. 120 army supply for Protoss versus 98 from Terran. I actually think this might be the moment to go. How many Vikings do we have? So we have about about 3 Vikings for each carrier. Obviously, we don't have any Archons here, so Archons would be huge. All of the Interceptors are actually deployed. All of the Interceptors are deployed because they were fighting that little bio army here. I don't think Special wants to be taking this fight. No, it takes a moment for all of the... Oh my god. It takes a moment for all of those Interceptors to be deployed. I think you want to start an engagement with as few of those Interceptors out as possible. Special's army just got absolutely wiped away. That was also not all of the Vikings, though. A couple of them must be still rallying through the center of the map. Astrea suddenly smells blood in the water. He feels like this is the moment for him to go for an attack. He ended up losing 1 carrier. GG is called. It's Astrea who obtains the victory. If you made it all the way until the end of this video, first off, thank you very much for watching. If you want to do me a favor, please hit that like button down below. It really does help the video out. And today I also want to give a special shout out to the Patreon supporters. If you're also interested in supporting me directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/LowkoTV. There's a link down below in the description of this video. So thank you very much to the Patreon supporters. Thank you, of course, for watching this video as well. Maybe you're a Patreon supporter watching this. Then you get thanks twice. Anyways, for now, have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to smile. And I'll see you once again in the next one.